Prepare to ace the CompTIA A plus Core 2 exam with 50 more practice questions, each featuring detailed explanations. Question 1. What Windows feature allows users to save personal work files on a server to prevent data loss? A. Home folders. B. Organizational unit. C. Security groups. D. Work groups. The correct answer is A. Home folders. If a user's computer fails, having their files stored on a server in their home folder means they can still access them from another device. Here's why the other options aren't the best fit. Organizational units. These are more about organizing users and devices within a network, not specifically for file storage. Security groups. These are used to control who can access what resources, but they don't store the files themselves. Work groups. These are a way to connect computers in a simple network, but they don't offer the centralized storage and backup that home folders do. 2. After completing a ticket, what should an organization representative do to check if the issue resurfaced? A. Dismiss the concern. B. Review, repair, replacement options. C. Follow up for customer satisfaction. D. Document the services. The correct answer is C. Follow up for customer satisfaction. Following up with the customer after a ticket has been completed is a best practice to ensure that the issue has been resolved to their satisfaction and hasn't resurfaced. A. Dismissing the concern without verification could lead to unresolved issues and customer dissatisfaction. B. Reviewing repair replacement options is typically done during the troubleshooting process, not after the ticket is closed. D. Documentation is crucial, but it doesn't directly address the need to check if the issue has resurfaced. 3. Which script extension uses CMDLETs to manage Windows and Active Directory components? A. PY. B. PS1. C. SSH. D. JS. The correct answer is B. PS1. PowerShell scripts use the PS1 extension and are based on CMDLETs, which are lightweight commands used to manage various aspects of Windows operating systems and Active Directory. A.PI is a Python script, a general-purpose programming language not specifically designed for Windows or Active Directory management. C.sh is a Bash, Linux, macOS shell script used for automating tasks in those operating systems. D.js is a JavaScript script, primarily used for web development and client-side scripting. 4. A technician is concerned about the sensitive company data stored on employees' mobile devices. In the event that a device is lost or stolen, which security measure would be most effective in protecting the data from unauthorized access? A. Screen lock. B. Remote wipe. C. VPN. D. Password manager. The correct answer is B. Remote wipe. Remote wipe allows the company to erase all data on the device remotely, ensuring that sensitive information is not compromised. A. Screen lock. While a screen lock provides a basic level of protection, it can be bypassed by determined attackers. C. VPN. A VPN encrypts network traffic, but it doesn't protect data stored on the device itself if it's lost or stolen. D. Password manager. A password manager helps users create and store strong passwords, but it doesn't directly protect data on a lost or stolen device. Five. A network administrator is troubleshooting a connectivity issue on a Windows server. They suspect that a service is not listening on the expected port. Which command should the administrator use to view all active network connections and the ports they are listening on? A. ipconfig. B. netstat. C. Tracert, D. ends lookup. The correct answer is B. netstat. The netstat command displays active TCP connections, ports on which the computer is listening, Ethernet statistics, the IP routing table, IPv4 statistics for the IP, ICMP, TCP, and UDP protocols, and IPv6 statistics for the IPv6, ICMPv6, TCP over IPv6, and UDP over IPv6 protocols. A. ipconfig. This command displays the network configuration details of the computer, such as IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway. C. Tracert. This command traces the route a packet takes from the source to the destination, helping to identify network bottlenecks or connectivity issues. D. nslookup. This command is used to query DNS servers to obtain domain name or IP address mapping information. 6. What is the first step in troubleshooting a Windows OS that frequently crashes with a blue screen error? A. Reimage the system. B. Check the system log in the event viewer. C. Reinstall all applications. D. Disable system restore. The correct answer is B. Check the system login event viewer. The event viewer is a tool that records system events, including errors and warnings. Checking the system log can provide valuable information about the cause of the blue screen error, such as a faulty driver or hardware component. A. Reimaging the system is a drastic step that should only be taken after other troubleshooting methods have failed. C. Reinstalling all applications is unlikely to resolve a blue screen error, which is usually caused by a system-level issue. D. Disabling system. Restore can prevent the system from being rolled back to a previous state, but it won't help diagnose or fix the blue screen error. Seven. Which of the following is a common social engineering attack that involves tricking a user into revealing sensitive information? A. Phishing. B. DDoS. C. Zero-day attack. D. Spoofing. The correct answer is A. Phishing. Phishing attacks involve sending deceptive emails, messages, or websites that appear to be from legitimate sources to trick users into divulging personal information such as passwords or credit card numbers. B. DDoS, distributed denial of service, is an attack that overwhelms a system or network with traffic, making it unavailable to users. C. A zero-day attack exploits a software vulnerability that is unknown to the software vendor, making it difficult to defend against. D. Spoofing involves impersonating a trusted source to gain unauthorized access to a system or network. 8. You are a Tier 1 support technician at a help desk and receive a call from a user experiencing BS odds just as you are about to take your break. What should you do next? A. Assist the user with troubleshooting the issue. B. Refer the user to Tier 2 support. C. Request the user to call back. D. Ask another technician to handle the call. The correct answer is D. Ask another technician to handle the call. While assisting the user, A, is generally the preferred approach. The scenario presents a conflict between your immediate availability and the user's urgent need. In such cases, ensuring a prompt resolution takes precedence. A, assisting the user with troubleshooting the issue is the ideal scenario when time allows. B, referring the user to Tier 2 support might be necessary if the issue is beyond the scope of a Tier 1 technician, but it's best to try to help the user yourself first. C, requesting the user to call back is not a good practice as it can lead to customer dissatisfaction. A user wants to access multiple applications within their company's network without having to enter their credentials for each one. Which security method would allow them to achieve this? A. Propagation, B. MFA, C. SSOD, inheritance. The correct answer is C. SSO, single sign-on. SSO allows users to authenticate once and then access multiple applications or services without having to re-enter their credentials. A. Propagation is the process of distributing changes or updates across a network. B. MFA, multi-factor authentication, requires users to provide multiple forms of authentication, such as a password and a fingerprint, to enhance security. D. Inheritance is a concept in file systems and Active Directory where permissions are passed down from parent objects to child objects. A technician is configuring security settings on a Windows workstation. Which of the following options is a built-in security component of the Windows operating system? A. UAC, B. Firefox, C. Active Directory, D. MFA. The correct answer is A. UAC, User Account Control. UAC is a security feature in Windows that helps prevent unauthorized changes to the operating system by prompting users for confirmation before allowing actions that could potentially affect the system's security or stability. B. Firefox is a web browser, not a built-in Windows security component. C. Active Directory is a directory service used to manage users and computers on a network, but it is not a built-in security component of the Windows operating system itself. DMFA, multi-factor authentication, is a security mechanism that requires multiple forms of authentication, but it is not a built-in component of Windows, although it can be implemented with additional software or services. A user reports that the time on their Windows PC keeps getting out of sync with the network time. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A. Missing OS, B. Low memory, C. Time drift, D. USB controller issue. The correct answer is C. Time drift. Time drift is a gradual deviation of a computer's clock from the correct time, often caused by hardware or software issues. This can lead to synchronization problems with network time servers. A. Missing OS. If the operating system were missing, the computer wouldn't function at all. B. Low memory. While low memory can cause performance issues, it's unlikely to directly cause time drift. D. USB controller issue. A USB controller issue would primarily affect USB devices and wouldn't typically cause time drift. In a ticketing system, which feature allows a support agent to organize tickets that share similar characteristics or themes? A. Issue description, B. Incident reports, C. Categories, D. Incident severity. The correct answer is C. Categories. Categories in a ticketing system allow support agents to group tickets based on common themes or characteristics such as hardware issues, software problems, or network connectivity. This helps in organizing and prioritizing tickets for efficient resolution. A. Issue description provides details about the specific problem a user is facing. B. Incident reports are detailed accounts of an incident, including its impact and resolution steps. D. Incident severity indicates the urgency and impact of a ticket, helping prioritize responses. A user's computer was recently infected with malware. After successfully removing the malware, what is the final step a technician should take according to CompTIA A's best practices? A. Educate end users. B. Enable system restore and create a restore point. C. Schedule scans and run updates. D. Update anti-malware software. The correct answer is A. Educate end users. After malware removal, it's crucial to educate the user on how to avoid future infections, such as identifying phishing emails, not clicking on suspicious links, and keeping software updated. B. Enabling system restore and creating a restore point is typically done before remediation to provide a fallback option. C. Scheduling scans and running updates are ongoing maintenance tasks to prevent future infections. D. Updating anti-malware software is an important step in the remediation process, but it's not the final one. (14) A user installed a new application on their Windows laptop, but it won't launch. Which of the following is the most likely cause? A. Firewall. B. Personalization. C. Proxy. D. DNS. The correct answer is firewall. A firewall can block an application from accessing the network or internet, preventing it from launching or functioning correctly. Personalization settings are related to the visual appearance of the operating system and are unlikely to prevent an application from starting. Proxy settings are used to direct network traffic through a proxy server and are unlikely to prevent an application from launching unless the application specifically requires a proxy to function. DNS, domain name system settings, are used to resolve domain names to IP addresses and are unlikely to prevent an application from launching unless the application relies on a specific domain name that cannot be resolved. (15) Which of the following images represents a Linux command line tool used for managing file permissions? A. lsb chmod, C. grep, D. pud. The correct answer is B. chmod. The chmod command is used to change the access permissions of file system objects, files, and directories in Linux. ALS is used to list files and directories. cgrep is used to search for patterns in text. dpwd is used to print the current working directory. (16) You are the IT manager of a rapidly growing startup. The company started with just 10 employees, but has now grown to 50. All the computers in the office are connected in a Windows workgroup for ease of file and printer sharing. As the company continues to grow, you wonder about the scalability of this setup. What is the maximum number of computers that can be in a Windows workgroup? A. 10. B. 25. C. 50. D. There is no maximum number of computers for a Windows workgroup. The correct answer is D. There is no maximum number of computers for a Windows workgroup. A workgroup is a simple peer-to-peer network model where each computer manages its own resources and security. While there's no technical limit on the number of computers, managing a large workgroup can become increasingly complex and inefficient as it grows. A. 10, B. 25, and C. 50 are incorrect because they suggest there are limits when there are none. However, it's important to note that while there's no maximum, workgroups are not designed for large-scale environments. As a company grows, transitioning to a domain-based network model with centralized management becomes more practical. (17) A company wants to enhance its logical security measures to protect sensitive data. The IT manager proposes implementing a system that allows employees to access only the specific resources and perform actions necessary for their job roles. Which of the following best describes the IT manager's proposal? A. Implementing time-based one-time passwords for all user accounts. B. Enforcing strict password complexity requirements and regular password changes. C. configuring granular access controls based on the need-to-know principle. D. Deploying multi-factor authentication for remote access to company resources. The correct answer is C. Configuring granular access controls based on the need-to-know principle. This principle ensures that users are granted access only to the information and resources essential for their job functions, minimizing the risk of unauthorized data exposure. A. Implementing time-based one-time passwords enhances authentication security but doesn't directly address the principle of least privilege. B. Enforcing strict password policies is a good security practice but doesn't specifically limit access to necessary resources. D. Deploying multi-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security for remote access but doesn't inherently restrict access based on job roles. Windows Update is a valuable tool that delivers feature updates to enhance the operating system's functionality and user experience. In addition to introducing changes to OS features and tools, what other important function can feature updates perform? A. Product activation. B. In-place upgrade. C. Full disk encryption FDE. D. Task scheduling. The correct answer is B. In-place upgrade. Feature updates in Windows Update can sometimes include major version upgrades, allowing users to seamlessly transition to a newer version of the operating system while preserving their files, settings, and applications. A. Product activation is the process of validating a software license, not a function of feature updates. C. Full disk encryption FDE is a security feature that can be enabled separately and is not directly related to feature updates. D. Task scheduling is a system function for automating tasks and is not a primary function of feature updates. As part of a data migration project, you need to copy files from C users to D archive, but you have been instructed to exclude temp files from the transfer. Which command allows you to accomplish this requirement? A. sc bping s sorry. D. Robocopy. The correct answer is D. Robocopy. Robocopy is a robust file copying utility in Windows that allows for filtering based on file types and attributes. You can use the /xf parameter to exclude temp files during the copy process. A. SFC, System File Checker, is used to verify and repair system files, not to copy or filter files. B. Ping is a network utility used to test connectivity between devices, not for file operations. C. Xcopy is another file copying utility, but it lacks the advanced filtering capabilities of Robocopy. You need to manage installed applications on a Windows PC, including uninstalling one. Which control panel tool should you use? A. Folder options. B. Administrative tools. C. Programs and features. D. Disk cleanup. The correct answer is C. Programs and features. This tool in the Windows control panel allows you to view, change, and repair installed programs. It also provides the option to uninstall applications. A. Folder options is used to customize the appearance and behavior of folders in File Explorer. B. Administrative tools provides access to various system management utilities, but not for uninstalling applications. D. Disk cleanup helps free up disk space by deleting temporary files and other unnecessary data. 21. Imagine you're a network administrator. You've recently updated the driver for one of your network interface cards, NICs, and you're keen to see how it's performing. You want to measure the data transfer rate to ensure it's working optimally. Which of the following tools would you use to conduct this test? A. Device Manager. B. Local Security Policy. C. Performance monitor, D. System information. The correct answer is C. Performance monitor. Performance Monitor is a built-in Windows tool that allows you to track various system metrics, including network adapter performance, such as data transfer rate. A. Device Manager is used to manage hardware devices and their drivers. B. Local security policy is used to manage security settings for the local computer. D. System Information provides a detailed overview of the system's hardware and software configuration. (22) Your organization has recently partnered with an out-of-state IT firm to manage its network infrastructure, including switches and routers. The firm needs to remotely access these devices for management and troubleshooting purposes. Considering the need for secure remote access, which of the following protocols should your organization implement? A. RDP, B. Telnet, C. SAH, D. VNC. The correct answer is C. SAH, Secure Shell. SAH is a cryptographic network protocol that provides a secure channel over an unsecured network. It is commonly used for remote administration of systems and is considered more secure than other options due to its encryption capabilities. A. RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, is primarily used for accessing graphical desktops remotely and may not be suitable for managing network devices like switches and routers. B. Telnet is an insecure protocol that transmits data in plain text, making it vulnerable to eavesdropping and unauthorized access. D. VNC, Virtual Network Computing, is similar to RDP and is primarily used for remote desktop access, not for managing network infrastructure devices. (23) One of your customers works on a Windows laptop. She downloaded an application from a website that you have never heard of. The customer saved the download, but she can't find the executable file to install the application. What is the most likely reason for this? A. The exe file is not compatible with the operating system. B. File permissions were set so that the user could not access the executable. C. The executable was quarantined by the anti-malware program. D. A host-based firewall blocked the download. The correct answer is C. The executable was quarantined by the anti-malware program. Anti-malware programs are designed to detect and isolate potentially harmful files, such as executables from unknown sources. A. While incompatibility is possible, it's less likely if the website specifically offered the application for download. B. File permissions could prevent access, but it's more common for anti-malware to quarantine suspicious files. D. A host-based firewall might block the download altogether, not just the executable. (24) You're working on a Windows laptop and you insert a 32 GB flash drive. You notice that the flash drive is divided into several smaller partitions, none of which are writable. You want to remove these partitions to later format the drive to its full capacity. Which disk part command would you use to accomplish this? A. Repair. B. Clean, C. Merge, D. Extend. The correct answer is B. Clean. The clean command in diskpart removes all partitions or volumes from the selected disk, effectively returning it to an unallocated state. A. Repair attempts to fix errors on the disk, but doesn't remove partitions. C. Merge combines two adjacent partitions into one, but it doesn't remove them entirely. D. Extend expands a partition into adjacent unallocated space, but it doesn't remove existing partitions. (25) A Linux system administrator needs to view details about the file system on a server. Which command will provide this information? A. fdisk, B. df, C. do deblockid. The correct answer is B. df. The df, disk free, command is used to display information about the available disk space on file systems. A. fdisk is a command line utility used to view and manage disk partitions. C. do, disk usage, is used to estimate file space usage. D. deblockid locates prints block device attributes. (26) In which computing environment is a technician operating after completing a scripting task and saving the script as an .sha file? A. PowerShell, B. Linux, C. JavaScript, D. Python. The correct answer is B. Linux. The .sha file extension is commonly used for shell scripts in Linux and other Unix-like operating systems. A. PowerShell scripts use the PS1 extension. C. JavaScript files typically use the JS extension. D. Python scripts use the .py extension. 27. A user's computer powers on and seems to be working correctly, but the user cannot access any wired network resources like printers, shared drives, or the internet. Which command line tool should the technician use to troubleshoot the network connectivity problem? A. netstat, B. netuse, C. ping, D. nslookup. The correct answer is C. ping. The ping command is used to test basic network connectivity by sending ICMP echo requests to a target device and waiting for an ICMP echo reply. If the ping is successful, it indicates that the computer can communicate with the target device at the network layer. A. netstat displays active network connections and listening ports, but it doesn't directly test network connectivity. B. netuse is used to connect to or disconnect from a shared resource, such as a printer or shared drive. D. nslookup is used to query DNS servers to obtain domain name or IP address mapping information. 28. You're working on a Mac computer and you need to grant access to another user on a separate Mac. Which option should you enable to allow them to take control of your computer? A. remote desktop, B. remote assistance, C. screen sharing, D. screen mirroring. The correct answer is C. screen sharing. Screen sharing is a built-in feature in macOS that allows you to share your screen with another user, giving them control of your computer remotely. A. remote desktop is a feature in Windows, not macOS. B. remote assistance is a feature in Windows that allows you to invite someone to help you with your computer, but it doesn't give them full control. D. screen mirroring is used to display the contents of your Mac screen on another device, such as a TV or projector, but it doesn't allow for remote control. (29) A user's Windows desktop continuously crashes during boot. A technician runs the following command in safe mode and then reboots the desktop. CICE Windows Vertical Bar System 32, sc/scano. Which of the following best describes why the technician ran this command? A. The user's profile is damaged. B. The system files are corrupted. C. The hard drive needs to be defragmented. D. The system needs to have a restore performed. The correct answer is B. The system files are corrupted. The sfc/scano command is a system file checker utility in Windows that scans for and repairs corrupted system files. This is a common troubleshooting step when a Windows system is experiencing boot problems or crashes. A. While a damaged user profile can cause issues, It's less likely to result in continuous crashes during boot. C. Defragmenting the hard drive improves performance, but doesn't typically fix boot problems caused by corrupted system files. D. A system restore can revert the system to a previous state, but it's not the first step in troubleshooting corrupted system files. The sfc/scano command should be run first to attempt to repair the files before resorting to a system restore. 30. A technician is installing M2 devices in several workstations. Which of the following would be required when installing the devices? A. Air filtration. B. Heat-resistant gloves. C. Ergonomic floor mats. D. Electrostatic discharge straps. The correct answer is D. Electrostatic discharge straps. M2 devices are sensitive to electrostatic discharge, ESD, and wearing an ESD strap helps prevent damage during installation. A. Air filtration is important for overall workshop cleanliness, but not specifically required for M2 installation. B. Heat-resistant gloves are not necessary for M2 installation as the devices don't generate significant heat during the process. C. Ergonomic floor mats are designed for user comfort and are not relevant to M2 installation. (31) Which of the following symptoms is most likely a sign of ransomware? A. Internet connectivity is lost. B. Battery life is reduced. C. Files on devices are inaccessible. D. A large number of ads appear. The correct answer is C. Files on devices are inaccessible. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts files on a device, making them inaccessible to the user until a ransom is paid. A. Internet connectivity loss could be caused by various issues, not necessarily ransomware. B. Reduced battery life is usually a sign of hardware or software issues, not malware. D. A large number of ads appearing could indicate adware, not ransomware. (32) A network engineer needs to update a network firewall, which will cause a temporary outage. The network engineer submits a change request form to perform the required maintenance. If the firewall update fails, which of the following is the next step? A. Perform a risk analysis. B. Execute a backout plan. C. Request a change approval. D. Acquire end-user acceptance. The correct answer is B. Execute a backout plan. A backout plan is a predetermined set of steps to reverse a change if it fails or causes unintended consequences. In this scenario, if the firewall update fails, the backout plan would be implemented to restore the firewall to its previous working state, minimizing downtime and potential security risks. A. Risk analysis is typically performed before implementing a change to assess potential risks and develop mitigation strategies. C. Change approval is obtained before implementing the change, not after a failure. D. End-user acceptance is sought after the change has been successfully implemented and tested to ensure it meets user requirements. 33. A Linux user needs to schedule a recurring task to run on the second day of each month. Which command will allow this? A. Anacron. B. crontab. C. @d shed. The correct answer is B. crontab. Crontab is a command line utility in Linux that allows users to schedule tasks to run automatically at specific times or intervals. A. Anacron is a daemon that runs tasks periodically, but it is not designed for scheduling recurring tasks on specific days of the month. C-at is a command line utility for scheduling one-time tasks. dshed is a system call that allows processes to schedule their own execution, but it is not typically used for scheduling recurring tasks. 34. What is the best way to ensure a complete backup and recovery of a system? A. Use a full system image backup. B. Use incremental backups. C. Use differential backups. D. Use selective backups. The correct answer is A. Use a full system image backup. A full system image backup creates a complete copy of the entire system, including the operating system, applications, settings, and data. This allows for a complete restoration of the system to its previous state in case of a failure. B. Incremental backups only backup files that have changed since the last backup, which can be faster but may not be sufficient for a complete system recovery. C. Differential backups backup files that have changed since the last full backup, which is more comprehensive than incremental backups, but still not as complete as a full system image. D. Selective backups allow you to choose specific files or folders to backup, but they may not include all the necessary components for a full system recovery. (35) What is the command used to move up one directory level in the Windows command line? A. cd ... B. cd up. C. cd parent. D. cd /... The correct answer is acd ... The cd ... command is used to navigate up one directory level in the Windows command line. bcd up is not a valid command in Windows. ccd parent is not a valid command in Windows. dcd /... is not a valid command in Windows. The / though is used as a directory separator in Linux and macOS, not Windows. (36) A user reports that a file they were working on has gone missing. What is the first step in troubleshooting this issue? A. Check the recycle bin to see if the file was accidentally deleted. B. Check for a backup of the file. C. Check for malware on the system. D. Run a disk scan to check for errors. The correct answer is A. Check the recycle bin to see if the file was accidentally deleted. This is the simplest and most likely explanation for a missing file, and it's the quickest to check. B. Checking for a backup is a good second step if the file is not in the recycle bin. C. Checking for malware is a more drastic step and should be done if there are other signs of a problem. D. Running a disk scan is unlikely to help find a missing file, as it checks for physical errors on the disk, not for deleted files. (37) You have a backup system that does a full backup on Monday and incremental backups on Tuesday. Friday, how many backup tapes do you need to restore the entire system if the storage drive fails on Saturday morning? A1, B2, C4, D5. The correct answer is D5. To restore the entire system, you would need the following tapes: the full backup from Monday, the incremental backups from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is because incremental backups only store the changes made since the last backup. To get a complete restoration, you need the full backup plus all the incremental backups leading up to the failure. 38. In which computing environment is a technician operating after completing a scripting task and saving the script as an SA file? A. PowerShell, B. Linux, C. JavaScript, D. Python. The correct answer is B. Linux. The HA file extension is commonly used for shell scripts in Linux and other Unix-like operating systems. A. PowerShell scripts use the PS1 extension. C. JavaScript files typically use the JJS extension. D. Python scripts use the .py extension. 39. Which of the following methods can be used to perform an in-place upgrade of Windows on a computer? A. Using the Windows installation media. B. Using the System Restore feature. C. Using the Windows Backup and Restore tool. D. Using the Windows Disk Cleanup utility. The correct answer is A. Using the Windows installation media. An in-place upgrade is performed by running the setup program from the Windows installation media, USB drive or DVD, while the current version of Windows is running. This process replaces system files and updates the operating system without requiring a clean install, being System Restore reverts the system to a previous restore point, but it doesn't upgrade the OS to a newer version. C. Windows Backup and Restore is used to back up and restore files and settings, not to perform an in-place upgrade. D. Windows Disk. Cleanup is a utility for freeing up disk space by deleting unnecessary files. 40. You're the IT administrator for a company that uses Windows-based systems. One day, you receive a directive from your manager to enforce a new security policy across all computers in the company. This policy includes specific settings related to network access, software installation, and data encryption. Which Windows tool would you primarily use to implement and manage these new policies? A. gpedit MSC. B. Event VWR MSC. C. Lucerne GR MSC. D. Diskm GMT MSC. The correct answer is A. gpedit MSC. This is the group policy editor in Windows, a powerful tool used to manage and configure various system settings, including security policies, software installation restrictions, and network access controls. It allows administrators to define and enforce policies across multiple computers within a domain. B. Event VWR MSC, Event Viewer, is used to view logs of system events, including errors and warnings. C. Lucerne GR MSC, Local Users and Groups, is used to manage user accounts and groups on a local computer. D. Diskm GMT DMSC, Disk Management, is used to manage disk partitions and volumes. (41) A user's computer running Windows 10 reboots into recovery mode after a forced shutdown. Which recovery option could help resolve the problem? A. Startup Repair. B. Windows Complete PC Restore. C. System Restore. D. Windows Refresh. The correct answer is A. Startup Repair. Startup Repair is a Windows recovery tool that can automatically fix certain system problems that might prevent Windows from starting. It's a good first step when troubleshooting boot issues. B. Windows Complete PC Restore restores the computer to its factory settings, which is a more drastic measure than Startup Repair. C. System Restore reverts the system to a previous restore point, but it may not be effective if the issue is with the boot process itself. D. Windows Refresh reinstalls Windows while keeping personal files and settings, but it's not the most appropriate solution for a boot problem. 42. Which of the following is a requirement for BitLocker to function on a computer? A. TPM chip. B. Additional software. C. Administrator account. D. Internet connection. The correct answer is A. TPM chip. A TPM, Trusted Platform Module. Chip is a hardware component that provides secure storage for encryption keys and other sensitive data. BitLocker uses the TPM to protect the encryption keys for the operating system drive, ensuring that the data remains secure even if the drive is removed from the computer. B. While additional software can be used to manage BitLocker, it's not a strict requirement for its basic functionality. C. An administrator account is needed to enable and configure BitLocker, but it's not a hardware requirement. D. An internet connection is not required for BitLocker to function, although it may be needed for certain features, such as automatic unlocking with a Microsoft account. 43. A company is rolling out new Windows Server computers. What utility can help quickly set up identical configurations on the new servers? A. DiskPart. B. Windows ADK. C. Windows Server Update Services. D. Windows Deployment Services. The correct answer is D. Windows Deployment Services. Windows Deployment Services, WDS, is a server role that enables the deployment of Windows operating systems over a network, allowing for the rapid installation of identical configurations on multiple computers. A. DiskPart is a command line utility for managing disk partitions and volumes. B. Windows. ADK, Assessment and Deployment Kit, is a collection of tools and technologies used for deploying, assessing, and managing Windows operating systems. While it can be used for deployment, it's not as streamlined as WDS for quickly setting up identical configurations. C. Windows Server Update Services, WSUS, is a server role that allows administrators to manage and deploy updates to Windows computers within a network. 44. You are a system administrator in a tech company that uses a variety of operating systems for its workstations. These include macOS, Windows, Chrome OS, and Linux. One day you receive a task to identify the workstations that use NTFS as the standard file system type. Which operating system's workstations will you be inspecting? A. macOS, B. Windows, C. Chrome OS, D. Linux. The correct answer is B. Windows. NTFS, New Technology File System, is the standard file system for Windows operating systems. A. macOS uses APFS, Apple File System, as its standard file system. C. Chrome OS primarily uses a variation of ext4, fourth extended file system. D. Linux supports various file systems, including ext4, but not NTFS as the standard. 45. Imagine you are a system administrator for a tech company. The company has a legacy application that only runs on a 32-bit operating system. The application is resource intensive, and you want to allocate as much RAM as possible to the system running this application. What is the maximum amount of RAM that you can allocate to this 32-bit operating system? A. 4 GB. B. 8 GB. C. 16 GB. D. 32 GB. The correct answer is A. 4 GB. 32-bit operating systems have a maximum addressable memory limit of 4 GB. This means they cannot utilize more than 4 GB of RAM, even if more is physically installed in the system. 46. Imagine you're working late on a project and your laptop's battery is running low. You decide to take a short break and want your laptop to conserve power, but also want it to quickly resume where you left off when you return. Which power option should you choose? A. Hibernate. B. Sleep. C. Hybrid sleep. D. Standby. The correct answer is B. Sleep. Sleep mode saves the current state of your work to RAM and puts the computer into a low power state, allowing for quick resumption when you return. A. Hibernate saves the current state to the hard drive and powers off the computer, which takes longer to resume than sleep mode. C. Hybrid sleep is a combination of sleep and hibernate, but it's not the most efficient option for a short break. D. Standby is a legacy term for sleep mode and functions similarly. 47. You are a system administrator for a large corporation. One day you notice that the network connection on your office computer is not working as expected. You decide to troubleshoot the issue by accessing the Network and Sharing Center in Windows. Which of the following methods can you use to access it? A. By opening the control panel. B. By typing Network and Sharing Center in the Start menu search bar. C. By clicking the network icon in the system tray. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. You can access the Network and Sharing Center in Windows through multiple methods. A. By opening the control panel, the Network and Sharing Center is listed as a category within the control panel. B. By typing Network and Sharing Center in the Start menu search bar. Windows search functionality allows you to quickly find and access system settings. C. By clicking the network icon in the system tray. Right-clicking the network icon in the system tray, usually located in the bottom right corner of the screen, provides a context menu with a direct link to the Network and Sharing Center. 48. Imagine you are the IT manager of a rapidly growing startup. You are tasked with setting up the company's computer network. You have two options: setting up a Windows domain or a Windows workgroup. Which of the following statements best describes the main difference between these two options? A. A domain requires a server, while a workgroup does not. B. A domain allows for centralized management, while a workgroup does not. C. A domain allows for password-protected access, while a workgroup does not. D. A domain allows for file and printer sharing, while a workgroup does not. The main difference between a Windows domain and a Windows workgroup is that a domain allows for centralized management, while a workgroup does not. In a domain, there is a central server that manages user accounts, security policies, and settings for all computers on the network, enabling an IT administrator to control and configure the entire network from a central location. This centralized management makes it easier to manage a large number of computers and users as the network grows. On the other hand, a workgroup is a peer-to-peer network where each computer is independent and there is no central management or control. Users on each computer have to be set up and managed individually, which becomes cumbersome as the network expands. For a rapidly growing startup, a Windows domain would be the more suitable choice due to its better scalability, security, and manageability compared to a workgroup. (49) Which of the following commands should you use to find out what edition of Windows is running? A. Pathping, B. WinVer, C. LSD, hostname. The correct answer is B. WinVer. This command displays the version and build number of the Windows operating system. A. Pathping is a network diagnostic tool that combines the functionality of ping and tracert. CLS is a Linux command used to list files and directories. D. Hostname displays the name of the current host. 50. You have been given technical documentation from the network administrator that details the switch ports that you need to use for an upcoming network upgrade. Which of the following documents did you receive? A. Change control form, B. Process diagram, C. Network topology diagram, D. Fiber backbone diagram. The correct answer is C. Network topology diagram. A network topology diagram is a visual representation of a computer network that shows the arrangement of devices and how they are connected. It would typically include information about switch ports. A. A change control form is used to document and authorize changes to a system or network. B. A process diagram illustrates the steps in a process or workflow. D. A fiber backbone diagram shows the layout of the fiber optic cables that form the backbone of a network. And that's a wrap on part 2 of our CompTIA A plus Core 220 1102 practice questions series. How did you do? Let us know your score in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your study buddies. Keep practicing, stay focused, and you'll ace that exam. Good luck, and see you in the next video.